Good afternoon. It's been a couple of days since I've been on. I'm just trying to balance out so I don't keep that aggressive cycle in my body. My body needs to be free. The organs have to move around. When you speak rantingly, everything tenses up. The circuitry comes deeper inside your body. Sounds like we're robotic of some sort. Anyways, you know where I stand on all of this, right? I don't know about the zodiac. But if you know about the zodiac and you want to speak to me, I'll put your numbers into a secondary perspective that is actually the primary perspective, but so easy in layman terms that no one seems to understand. What we're going to talk about now is a perception of a few items. One will come out of the deck of cards. I spoke about this a few days ago. And one is coming out of basic numbers. In the first section of basic numbers, now what is this relation to? This relation will fill in a gap of a question that is not to be asked. All it is an equation. 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5 is actually A, B, C, D. Is actually, excuse me, A, B, 4, 5, 6, C. You notice the way there's 0 here, there's no A, I'm sorry, there's 0 here. Here it's A, here, okay, it's C, here it's E, okay, and after E is G, A, C, G, E, the ice of age. 0 is where we all begin. That's why 0 equals 6. The difference between the first number is actually 1. The space is 2, noting that half and half come from the each end and 1 in the center. Here, the space is 4. Half and half come from each end. The beginning, a point of where no steps are taken, only the step out. Where the last step is the step in. Which foot will it be? If you go out with the right foot, what foot will enter into 7? How many steps will you take? Will you put your feet together after each step? 1 through 9 added, 2 through 8 added, 3 through 7 added, 4 through 6 added. You add 5 and 5 is 10. 4, 5, and 6 equals to 15. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, where 4, 5, and 6 equals to 15. 3 and 7 equals to 25. Where 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equals to 25. 2 and 8 equals to 35. And we bring it back 35, 25, 15, 5. $500 bill in Monopoly is all over here. The only way the cube comes into action, okay? Over here, it is the east-west. It is a movement. This is north-south. This is cross north, east, or west, which is actually on the telephone looking at you. It is on that side going that way. But when I'm looking at it, it's on that side going this way. So there's all in your own perspective. 45, 35, 25, 15, minus the numbers you stand on, you have 35, 25, equaling to 65, 70. This mark over here, add A, B, C, D, it equals to this. Add A, B, C, D, E, it equals to this. But after that, it does not work in compliance anymore. This is the cube. We go into the second level, okay? In the second level, add. We're not adding now in this level. I'm just doing something. It's a different equation. We're only working on equations now. 2 through 10, 3 and 11, 4, 14, 11, 21. Do you know what all of these are actually? It's what I call the big climb. Okay, and where there's obviously a mistake in here, because down here should say 12. Okay, so and we're going to just skip over that 12 for a second. Okay, we're going to skip over both these. This is one separate equation, and then I went to this equation over here. Okay, so we're going to work like this. 2 and 10, we raised it up 111. When we get from here to here, this is the exact movement of the game of pool, where 1 and 2 is an equivalent to half. 1 and 4 is an equivalent to a quarter. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to skip over 12 and 13. I don't know why I did that, but it just worked out that way. 4 to 14, raise it up 1, raise it up 1, raise it up 1, raise it up 1. Everything is raised up 1. When you find out, not the additional, what the difference is, I'm not looking for the difference, because when you add up 3 to 11, this should be 63. And this red, okay, 63 would actually be the word 11 equals 63, and there's 63 moons on Jupiter, so we must connect Jupiter to this. This also represents the ocean and communication. Why? 1 and 1 is 2 on the other side. It is 2 red ones creating a 2, creating the 1/4. The 1/4 is the same numerological number that goes around the dice cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 2 opposite sides on the same side going around as the band will be 14. North and south will be 7. Measure to count the band, 5, 3, 2, and 4. Even if I turn it any other way and I stop, I'll get 5 and 4 is 9, 10, 11, and the next one will be 3. You can do it any way you want, right? First we'll get 5, 4, then I'm going to get 2, 3. Right? It doesn't matter what you do. Okay, that's the band. It's also known as your DNA band. Okay, somehow we're enveloped, or it's wrapped around, or it's added to. I don't know how they make it. When you move up a level, let's not go away from the ocean. The 3rd letter and the 11th letter, KC, Kansas City. Now Kansas City, okay, because every number will tell you different stories, and a bunch of stories, but the first story that comes to mind in Kansas City is that the Highway 70 and 35 that connect, okay, Highway 70 is going east-west, Highway 35 is going north-south, and goes all the way down into Texas, and I think all the way down somewhere at the bottom of Texas, and there's a whole link of numbers. And it crosses different highways, and crossing east-west from north-south. Obviously, north-south is not as long as east-west, and that'll be the cross on the cross, the design of the cross. Okay, and that Highway 35 and 70 is 105, and that's when you add 1 to 14 equals to 105, and it is the ace card to the king card, and then putting the ace on top and adding that up, right? When you play Casino War, the ace card has no value at the bottom. It's a null and void. It's a void area. You've all moved up 1 level. The spirit has went from the bottom all the way to the top, or the top has reached the end of the string and has come back to the bottom, where the king's crown is crowned by the spirit, ace, on the bottom. Imagine the string that goes around this straight line. Oh, it's a straight line. I'm dead. No, it's going around. It's going up and down. I'm alive. But if it's going up and down a straight line, there's a chance that I'm dead. But if my mouth is moving, then it'd be the circle. Let's not get into that. 3 and 11. Okay, Highway 70, okay, out there, 35, 3.5 is electric company. When you add, okay, all the numbers and you arrive at D4, M13, okay, D4, M13 equals to 17. Right away, that is the gateway, 1 and 7 in Mars. Okay, the next one is, 17, the MD, and the next one is V, okay, MDV, and you add that one up and you get 39. And that 39, if I got this correct, is at that 39 will connect you to Saturn, and the passage that goes over, you know, the connection into Arizona, but it goes over, it's past 93, it goes over Hoover Dam and into down Arizona, Las Vegas, Arizona, last Arizona. But let's not talk about that right now. Let's go a little bit deeper if I don't lose myself. The next number after that is 31. We went from 22 now to 31, and that'll add up to 70, and that is your 70, the half-life that we live in. Okay, Highway 70 going across the entirety to the spirit that is going up and down. Actually, it's not, it's this way, but it rocks. It rocks and creates that hourglass. It doesn't rock all the way like this, because then it'll slow it down. It keeps it at its greatest speed, leaving the most air passage, this angle with the water flowing down. What will happen to the water down here? Will it jump up in the pipe, or will it turn over in the pipe, leaving the air pass simple enough to let the water flow as quick as it can? Do you follow what I'm saying? Now 3 and 11, okay, is the red ball and pull. Okay, now the red ball and pull, sorry, it's not the ocean. It's not the ocean, it was the band. The actually ocean comes from when you connect the 1 and 3 will create the 5 ball, because red and yellow create orange. And that creates the 5 and the 13 ball. And 5 and 13 create the letters M-E, total of 18, then the letter R, which says the ocean. So now you have the creation from yellow and red, the band that goes around through the red ball, and the movement and connection to the moon. So if you put a band around the moon, and then you have 2 energies, you can actually control what that moon is doing. And those bands seem to be on Saturn. 93, 39. The difference is 6. Tesla's motion and movement through the band 3 through 6 and 9. 9 known as the birth, because 9 is in different. There's so many areas. Like I said, the codes, like I just watched Snowden, right? Snowden, you know what I'm saying? Keep it cool. Snowden, keep it cool. He's in Russia. How far north is he? Right? So it's sort of like a code and something. But it's all codes, and you become bamboozled when you put too many codes. What is 9? It's the 9 lives of the cat. What is 9? When I add 1 to 9, it equals to 45. 9 times 6 is 54. So 9, 5, 9, 6 connect together. And isn't it funny, in the alphabetical relationship, they also connect together? There is no black key on the F, but there is one that connects the E and the F. Relationships, my friend. Relationships. You are married to the situation once you get married, and you are married to the situation because of the calculative factors. These are the calculated factors that create the actuality in the situation. Call me what you want to call me. We're going to just jump down to these numbers and go very quick. These two numbers, if I minus them all, I get 10. When I add them all, I get these numbers over here. It'd be 10 and 9, 10 and 2, 10 and 4. Boom, 10-4 communication, which is a representation of 3 and 11. BC communication, before Christ. Okay, and BC is CB code, CB 200. 1/4 of 100 is 25, or 1/4 of the 200 codes is 50. So 50 is actually half and not 25. Otherwise, 25 would be half and all, and that would be Earth. I just want to jump off the subject and just tell you something about that word all, right? It's very funny, because all you do is you take the two lines, you tilt them together, right? Obviously from this you have to tilt them from the top or the bottom because of the bar, and it took your H and turned it into an A. A with this without the bar in between is actually saying A11 or all. That 11 or L and L in Spanish creates a Y. Bringing in the E and E inside the L pronunciation, you create the I. You like my sigma? 1 level, 2 levels. The band connected together. La lumière, the light. Designs, my friend, designs. Here's the letter I, and on side of it is the letter D. You put two I and I together, you get ID, you get IDB. And inside you also get 3, 3B, 2 to the power of 3, and we can keep doing these mathematical situational calculations and bringing us to a different level of understanding. So when we go inside of this again, this being the half-life, this is special. 22 and 5 are relatives because 5 is the letter E, which is a letter V in reverse. Okay, the reverse alphabet, the 22nd letter is actually Z, Y, X, W, V, 5th letter, and the 5th letter is E. And this V letter in Roman numerals represents 5, the same thing, 6 and 16, the half-life, because the dots on the 6 show up in between the corners. Greatest diameter from here to here, right? But the greatest diameter, if the Earth was this way, would be from here to here still. So where is it? Is it in numbers, or is it overboard? First section, second section, third section, fourth section, fifth section, whoosh, you're the next section over. 1, 2, 3. It's always 1, 2, 3 and never more, because what's in between you is two sides. That's C. That's the relativity of the actuality. The fact is, I stand here. That's my ABC. But the outside, which is a half-life, okay? So you can't do ABC. Well, let's start at E. I am E. I am F, okay? And I am, and don't forget, if I start on E, I become the ring finger and then one of the next fingers. So there's more of games to be played here. So now that I am E, and I am F, and I am E, and I am D. So I am now C and G, 3 and 7. creation, 3 and 7. I put my hands up. I don't put my hands up. I put my hands up. I put my hands up on the outside, and all of a sudden, I'm more than what I just said, because my muscle, okay, I don't like to say it that way. My muscle is the mountain. Do you see the way the mountain has to go down? Telling me the more levels that they are. More levels of actuality. We can stretch it out. Are we holding hands? Are we on the same side? 10, 11, 12? Or does 10, 11, 12 no longer exist once our hands are holding, instead of just, you know? So take it another step. So now we're going to continue down. Okay, now that we understand this, the half-life, this is where Grover Cleveland came onto the flagpole. Half of this is 3, half of this is 8, and it says C and H in a representation of 3 and 8. 3 and 8 equals to 11, the church, and the barrier surrounding Saturn, controlling what I can see if that was around the moon, controlling the moon of 369147, unless it was tilted this way. Now, how can you tilt around? How can you tilt around? The round becomes round, but the tilt, what does that tilt? You tilt around. Look, I'm tilting it. I'm tilting it, meaning I've moved it from this energy over to this energy. Or do I tilt? See, this is the moon. Let's say this is the round moon. We'll use this as the moon. It's easier. This is the round moon. And I put this here. Now, if the weight of the moon is over here, I have tilted the weight. Now, I'm still trying to understand, visualize what I've just tilted in the moon. But I've tilted something over. I'm not sure. I mean, how can you tilt something round? I mean, you tilt something round like that, and all of a sudden now you see the ring on the planet is now like this. So when the balanced moon sits in it this way, and the actually round, I'd have to draw this up, you know. I'm gonna have to draw this up. So we have the round moon, okay, and we have the bar that's holding this round moon, but still the moon is straight. It's straight this way, right? And it's moving this way. And here's the two things. So the actual thing is, this is not, the moon is not this way. This is your 1, your 5, and your 9, right? Your moon is sitting down this way, okay? Now, are these 2 gears over here? And circuitry over here. And we're not going to get too deep into this because this is a little bit above my level also. This is where the resident angel 1 and 8 come in. This is your gateway in Mars. 17, 18, 19 are associated with each other. When you add them together, 17, 18, and 19, what we're going to actually do is go 10 plus 10 plus 10. If you multiply it, it equals to 1,000. If you add it, it equals to 30. Krista Berg said 10,000 souls were on the line, right? So we'd have to multiply this by 10. So now we're into the 4-part world. 4-part world, which is 2 and 2. Now the question is, it 1, 2, 1? 11 times 11 equals 121. We revert it back over here. We revert this back to the red sun. The red sun then gets converted because of the yellow, okay, blue, and red that are associated with it. And now we connect the 9 ball inside of this. Did you follow why? Because 1 is yellow. 2 is equal to the blue ball, equaling to the 10 ball. 1 and 0 is 1. 1 and 2. ABBA comes together. Now we brought the quarter life into the half life. 17, 18, 19, 7, 8, and 9. 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals to 24, right? I mean, the whole keyboard is 5, 4, 6 equals to 15, and 1, 2, 3 equals to 6, right? 1 plus 5 equals 6. 1 times 5 equals 5. Plus 0 over here, 60. That's your 60 seconds on the clock. There is no multiplier. That's your moon standing straight on that angled board, right? Unless your moon is rolling this way. Unless you see things coming in from the other world this way. You understand what I'm saying? When the moon turns this way, but the balance is this way, or if it's turning this way, right? That means that bar okay, does not exist. The only real bar of the North Pole would be this way. You can't spin something. If the bar is this way, you can't spin it this way and break the bar. But if there's a rotation, an escalator or a moving part, it would be going this way, bringing in parts. Not to say that there's not anything in the middle turning this way. Do you follow what I'm saying? If it's this way, I cannot turn it on an angle. I must turn everything around this pole. Otherwise, this pole will eat away at it. It'll eat away at the North and the South Pole, creating heat, and it'll debalance the structure and probably melt the icebergs at the poles. The E and E world, right? The E and E world. I'm quite sure you've seen this before. I'm quite sure you've seen this before. This is just talking about the top and the bottom of the Earth and the poles, right? Now, if you really want, we can do it this way. We can bring it in, and now we have your I letter. We have your Earth. Here's the design. This whole design over here, right? 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 6 and 8. This equals to 14 and 0, 2. This equals to 11 and 0, 1. This equals to 6 and 6. 6 and 6 in the gematria scale is GT, minus over here you have F, and plus you have H, minus you have S, and plus it you have U. Okay, SHUT, shut. Okay, flight, FGHT, flight. Let's not get into that. The main thing what you get here is 4, 5, and 6 equals to 15, 1 and 5 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 24, 2 and 4 is 6, 1, 2, 3 is 6, 6, 6. Because this is your rotation. 7 times 9 is 63 moons on Jupiter. 4 by 6 is a 24-hour day of man. 1 times 3 is 3, creation of the 24-day of man. 3 times 24 is 72, and this is 63, the moons of Jupiter. 3 times 6 is 18 and 9, which is the 18th letter A and H, angel heaven, residency. 63 moons on Jupiter. 6 plus 3 is 9, and 18 equals to 27. 27 is 1/3 Venus. Also, it implies the red sun. 72 of 86 communication. Put the 7 over here in 2 worlds. I just want to show you how 2 and 3 worlds work according to the way I understand cards. I don't know if I have everything in order here. Okay. In this implication over here, okay, in the game of poker, right? I'm not going to use the, let's use the full house to start with it, okay? In the element of poker, right? Actually, this would say I have 2 players. Always remember 2 players. Texas Hold'em, 5 in the center and 2 players on top. They have a split pot, okay? They have a split pot, right? Now, you don't know what's happening with this. If this was down here, okay, if this was down here and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the person up here had this, okay, he would say, wow, I can't be beat. I've got the best full house. The only way to beat me is with a 4th 10. We're going to make the situation a little bit different, okay? We're going to make the situation just a little bit different in explanation, okay? This guy knows that the 4th 10, okay, beats him. This guy also knows that anybody who has 2 aces beats him, okay? But the difference in this is we're going to just play 1 player. This 1 player has not guaranteed this win, okay? At this scenario, he is guaranteed his win with the high hand. You see the 3 aces? How 2 is so powerful because of this situation. But in this situation, there's still the straight and royal flush. So he still hasn't perfected a perfect hand. So I want to make this a little bit easier and make no flush to when you think you have the perfect hand. And I'm doing this for a reason. Okay, because the minute another 10 falls, you see in this situation, okay, okay, this guy can still lose to the guy who's got a hand like this. Is that correct?
But in this situation, where everything is individual, okay, this guy knows he's got 3 of a kind, he can lose to a straight. At this point, right, he's got the nut full, but he can still lose to 4 of a kind, right? Now watch what happens as we change it, okay? Watch what happens as we change it. The minute we put 4 tens on the table, right, these 2 cards no longer count. They're now equal because we shared 4. We went from I can't lose. He went from I can't lose with like this, okay? I can't lose the best full house over his best full house. I can't lose. I can possibly tie if he has the 2 aces or if he has the 4th 10. But the minute this 4th 10 on the table comes out, 4 different players. This is where the difference comes in the understanding. Because in this situation, if 4 people on the table now have aces, 4 people split this pot. You take away, you put him here with 2 aces, okay? With this, you automatically know, right, you went from 4 people sharing, knowing you're the only one with 2 aces, the most you can split this pot now is your 2 aces versus 1. So now you're splitting up 1, 2, 3 people can now win this pot. Okay? If this ace showed up over here, 2 people would be winning this pot. So you see how I win no matter what to I have to divide it between 4. I win no matter what, and now I have to divide it between 4.
Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Let me just bring out a couple of more things. Levels, here, here, and here. One level showing one way, the other level showing the other way. Well, it didn't, okay, the other level showing the other way. The quarter moons, okay, on each other representing 5 and 2. One representing Jupiter, the other representing Venus. 5 and 2, Jupiter, Venus, the gateway. Jupiter, Venus, the gateway. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4, and 5, 1, 2 equals to 51 Mars, 52 Earth, total 103 Mercury. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1 says Abba, Father, Ima, and Mother. Okay? 4 times 1, 4 plus 1, which equals to 5, and 4 equals to the Sun, and a total of 9, the birth in the Sun. Okay? Numbers talk. The alphabet is an ID in itself, an ID of signal test land communications. I have it, I don't know if you can see it, but I have it one right there. I have the I over there where it says 63. You see the hat and the feet. There's just the I. You have the copper, okay. Tishrei is when I was born, and etc. You have Maybell, 37. Remember, when you see 7, you're also talking about the queen. When you see 7, you see 8 for more than one reason. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7, whether you're using it on plus or on the cross, you see the angle. Now, the same reason is if you turn 3 to the side, you get the W, and if you turn it to the side with the Z now becomes an N. What was once the 3, that is now the W. Okay, unless you turn it to the left, which now the 3 becomes an M. You turn the 3 to the left, it's an M. You take the 3 to the right, it's a W. Okay, you flip the W upside down, it's an M again. So you have to understand how we shift and move things, because these are the realities. The Z is the 26th letter. 2 and 6 actually equal to 8, and 3 and 7. 2 and 6 is the Z letter, is 26, right? 3 over 26, right? Which is 8 times leftover 2/3, or 8 times 3 is 24, and that is the cat. 9 times 3 is 27, and that is 1 more than 26, and 26 is the dog. So you create the dog, but then you have to add 1 spirit. Okay, you create the cat by 8 times 3, but what I'm trying to do is get that 3 into 26. It's just a numerological valuation right now. 3 into 26 is 8 times 3, and then 2/3, which is your communication, getting the cat inside 26, which is the dog. But 9 times 3, the birth, brings you one number above 26, you must minus it to get back into the dog, the cat and the dog association inside this world. 1/3 and 2/3. One is alternate communication, A and C, altered current, and B and C is beta creation communication through Venus and Earth. And these are just because of the layman terms, because Earth is the 3rd planet, also known as the 7th planet. Magic Square switches these numbers and said the Earth position is now in the Venus position, now because the possibility is that we have taken the dice cube and we've taken the 3-corner and we've put it into the 2 position, which now creates the greatest diameter where the cross would fit in just right. Raphael, thank you for watching this video. One more thing to say. We are on a new term. We are on a new term. We are on a new term. We finalized, okay? We finalize after, doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. I'm talking about today. I have to talk about from the 22nd of November. Cancel that day out. The 9th, the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 22 plus 9 and 22 equals to the end of the month. There's 22 days equaling to life. November, a month, the 11th month, 1 and 1 is 2. November is 2, okay? And you have 30 days, so that's 2 and 3, so that's your communication. It's not only 2 and 3, it's also 2 and 9, that is your birth. Because what happens, it's 30 days. 3 plus 0 equals to 3 plus 6. 3 times 6 is 18, creating 27. It's now number 27, which is the beta creation. BG, win a big red sun of November. The 11 is now connected to the 3. The 3 and 11 create is the red ball. Okay, 3 minus 11 is 8, creating the heaven we are in of communication. And it is also represented in Neptune. I'm trying to fly around here and find what I just said. Now I'm talking about the days till the presidency. Now we have, okay, from November, 22 days from the election all the way to the end of the cycle of the autumn cycle, which is 42 days equals to the 9 lives of the cat. On the 43rd day we switch to winter. It becomes DC, in between, from going from autumn to winter, and then going from the 21st day over to the 20th day, which is 30 days if I can recollect, which would be 10 days, and 20 would be 30 days, and that is creation leading up to the day in the inauguration of the president. And now if you total out those days, it equals to 73. 43 and minus 30 is 13. Altered current, added at 73. 4 times 3, 4 plus 3. 3 times 0, forget about it. Let's change the 0 to 6. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals to 27. 4 times 3, 4 plus 3 equals to 19, and 27 equals to a total of 56, or to the 7th gate, Abba, Father. To the 10th gate, we get 45, the foxhole in the sun, and 6 and 7 and 8 and 5, 7 and 8 come together, and is 1 times 7, 1 plus 7. It is the queen, it is the gateway, it is the tunnel running from Mars. It is the one spirit that comes in, that inflicts us or enhances us, or whatever you want to use. And in layman terms, you can actually just create it this way. From above as below, and then you have this whole design. I can't explain it. I have to work with the professionals. 1 6 dice above the other 6 dice, 1 6 dice above the other 6 dice. This is what happens. Remember polarity, these two can't come together, so we switch it here and we switch it here because of polarity. I mean, is that the word, the right word? Remember, I'm not sure which word I should use. I don't know if I can bring my energy down. I don't even know if I should be making a straight line or coming and creating 2 X's in this and going X, 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 X. I don't know. Remember, when you go bowling, and it's XXX, the 24th letter, 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals 24. 2 and 4 is 666, so XXX is actually, instead of giving you 30 in bowling in the first frame, it's now giving you 18, and then 18. By the time you get 18 and 18, remember, if we only throw 3 strikes, and we add up the 3 in the same boxes, calling it a turkey, we get 18. The next 2 strikes, okay, will be 6 and 6. It will be 12. We'll get 30. And we'll have 36. By the 3rd frame, we have 36. We get 3 different frames. It's 108 with 2 separations. We get 110. The towers have come down because the numerological cycles will always be exact. -1, +1, add it, multiply it. If you're adding it straight, if you're multiplying, you're turning it to the side, tip the bottle and pour them out. What are you doing next? Raphael, understanding the basics of layman terms. Thank you for watching Arts Palace.